Okay, so we're joined by Leo Blais. Leo, thanks for inviting us into your home for these private shows you've been doing over the past couple of days. Leo is a singer-songwriter and artist, as you can see from some of the pictures and things that are on the walls. He's done a lot of work over the past couple of years. Thanks for joining us, Leo.
Thanks for coming, Tom, and appreciate everything everybody's done here today. You know, so made the day that much more special.
Great. So can you tell us why you decided to do these private shows?
The private shows were a way to kind of wrap up a lot of the work that was on the walls, and it was something that I always wanted to do from the get-go. It was kind of imagining having a series of shows and stuff, and didn't actually know if it was going to work out, because like I was still working on a lot of the artwork up until the first show on Friday. So I mean, obviously I would have still had it, but it was something that it really today especially was great. It was just an amazing weekend,
Yeah. So what's the purpose of this art project you've been working on for some time now?
I think the purpose of it was to kind of do something unique in its own, and originally it started out as more of just I was going to do like a cover, an album cover, and I really loved like the throwback or the albums of like the 60s and 70s, where they'd have a huge canvas to work with, and that I really loved. And nowadays we're dealing with like iTunes, there you get the small picture. I mean, it's to do something kind of a little different and worthwhile. In the end, I really it did a lot for me, I guess, as far as pushing to what I could do or learning along the way, and also it kind of made me connect a little more with my music as well.
Nice. So what's your reason? I understand you're moving to New York very shortly, which is part of the reason that you're doing this. What's your reason for moving to New York?
I'm actually going to school. I'm going back to school. It's a chapter in my life. I'm always going to be playing music. I'm actually going to dental school, and this project itself and going on the road and touring and everything was something that I've been working years and years. I've been doing it for a long time, and it was really a way to feel like I really don't have any regrets in music. Music's given me a lot of things, and it continues to. It's one of those things that you want certain things to go on with music, and then little things, the people that you meet along the way, that happens, and it gives you other things that you don't expect, and it really this point in my life, and today especially, got a little emotional a couple times, and it was really special to have people that I really cared about here, and that meant that closing a chapter but opening other chapters. I mean, music is something that's with you always. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment as a musician to this point?
There are certain things, like this project itself was probably my biggest accomplishment. The having the ad in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that validated a lot of things that to be a professional musician, and to when you pour your heart into it, I feel very lucky. Like, not everybody experiences some of those things, and other people experience just being able to play a show for the first time. I remember my first show at TT's, like however many years ago that was, but I remember having friends come and see us. We were even just a two-piece. I think I played with a drummer, and it's, you know, that felt great to finally book a Boston show, you know, or a Cambridge show, and like those little accomplishments, you know, then you start searching for more. But this project itself was, like, I think the biggest undertaking, and then to have it finished and feel good, you know, there's it turned into something else. Like, it started out as something so small, and I wasn't set out to do this whole crazy thing all at once. And but now, you know, it was a way to thank radio stations. I'd send them the call letters and a package with my CDs, and I'd thank writers. And if you go to I'm sure you've seen the Tiny Desk concerts on PR. Bob Boylan, who I met a few years back, and I still see from time to time at some of the radio conventions. He met him for the first time, gave me a big hug, and his show All Songs Considered with the Tiny Desk concerts. He has the artwork in the background there, and it's kind of neat. I never thought it was gonna turn into stuff like that. You know, you're just kind of throwing things out there in the world and see what happens.
That's cool. Well, I think, you know, just doing something like that, you know, shows a great deal of generosity and individuality that people don't really see nowadays with bands. You know, they'll get a CD and whatnot, and that'll be it, you know, and then, you know, maybe they'll play it, maybe they won't, usually they'll forget about it, but something like that, it's a great idea.
Thanks.
Very cool idea. So what do you have coming up shortly before you?
I do have one more show, I think, more local, the Somerville or the Ville, the radio, radio venue. I think it's June 20th, and that should be a pretty fun show. And I think I have another one. I'm going to play the Folk Fest, the Lowell Folk Fest, I think. Things start popping up. I'm more lazy when it comes to booking shows. I mean, I always get, like, I do luck out with people email me about a show, and then I'll just pick them up every so often, you know.
Well, you got a lot going on, you know, especially with this project, and now that it's done, maybe you'll have more time to play and work on school and
and the show on the 20th, the Hush Now, I think, will be playing that, and they're a great band too, so it's should be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that, Leo. Thank you so much for having us into your home, and we really appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you. All right.